Welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. This is Rich, making another video on XRP today, as usual. So wherever you are in this vast planet, I hope you're all having a nice day today. I have to start with this from Ripple before we discuss XRP. Significant progress was made by Ripple, XRP, and the larger cryptocurrency ecosystem at the beginning of 2025. Highlights include the deal reached by the SEC and Ripple to terminate the litigation. Right now, we are only awaiting the judgment. Additionally, I would like to hear Kins address this. That might help XRP, in my opinion, to grow the adoption of RLUSD, and the XRP ledger Hidden Road paid $12.5 billion. Demand from institutions for investment products based on XRP is increasing. A change in U.S. policy portends greater opportunity and clarity. Since the second quarter, the XRP markets report has been changing. In addition to maintaining public access to our XRP holdings on ripple.com, we will continue to be open and provide pertinent updates on announcements pertaining to Ripple and XRP through official channels such as Ripple and Ripple XD. People have been stating that Ripple will no longer be transparent as we move into the second quarter. However, they have now clarified that the public can view the amount of XRP that Ripple has on hand at ripple.com. Additionally, I would like to draw attention to the fact that from quarter 4 of 2024 to quarter 1 of 2025, the on-chain activity for transactions decreased. On the XRP ledger, they anticipate that momentum to return. Because fewer transactions were taking place, XRP burnt for transaction fees, which also decreased. Now, this could change at any time, and I'm just highlighting the figures that Ripple is providing us. I also want to draw attention to the escrow. From 38 billion to 37 billion, 130 million, and 5 XRP, it decreased. People still claim that Ripple has 52 billion coins in escrow. However, that is no longer the case. Bitcoin Maxes continues to fabricate data from as far back as 2019 and 2020 to give the impression that XRP is centralized rather than decentralized. Additionally, another 1 billion will be liberated next month, after which some of that XRP will be locked back in. I only wanted to draw attention to the fact that we see it month after month on the amount of XRP that remains in escrow. Since Ripple plans to deliberately use that escrow to add more and more use cases to XRP, I genuinely appreciate that they have it. Gemini is currently a trading platform for RLUSD. One exchange after another allows deposits and withdrawals, granting you entry to RLUSD. Since XRP is frequently used to shift RLUSD, the currency's continued strong growth will eventually be reflected in the price of XRP as well. A discussion draft of the House Republicans' much-anticipated bill on crypto market structure has been made public, and it's a big one. FIT 21 is this. This reveals to you who is now in charge of overseeing cryptocurrency. This law deprives the SEC of authority and increases the CFTC's authority. Thus, it appears that the CFTC will continue to be the leading crypto regulator. However, it also does this. The bill creates a transparent, decentralized test. A project must not be unilaterally controlled by one party in order to be considered decentralized. To maintain transparency, holders who control more than 10% of the supply must be identified while the project is still centralized. If a blockchain is significantly developed and has inherent value, it is considered mature. Less than 1/5 of the supply that is unbiased, open, rule-based, and not owned or controlled centrally. For years to come, the typical working 9-to-5 person could become involved in cryptocurrency, since the draft version of the bill also eliminates rules related to net worth thresholds, opening the market to more regular investors. Certain protocols may be immune from legislation in the context of decentralized finance if they are non-custodial and do not use discretion. The urgency and bipartisan collaboration that Congress is pursuing to unleash crypto innovation in the US are not understood. It's important to note that the bill describes stablecoins without also categorizing them as securities. However, the aspect of this that I found particularly appealing is their plan to divide centralized and decentralized cryptocurrency. Additionally, they will tell you that this cryptocurrency is mature. It has already been created, functioning, open, unbiased, governed by rules, and not owned or controlled by a single entity. More than any other cryptocurrency, utility-driven cryptocurrencies will gain from this bill. However, they're still taking their time to pass this as well. In the United States, we must have clarity as soon as possible. Official members of the Crypto Task Force are announced by the SEC. BlackRock, Fidelity, Nasdaq, Franklin Templeton, and Robinhood are among the panelists. Where the heck are Coinbase, Chainlink, Ripple, and perhaps an Uphold member? Why do the same businesses that aren't even in the cryptocurrency space keep coming up? These individuals are in charge of everything. Robinhood, BlackRock, Fidelity, Nasdaq, and Franklin Templeton. The good news is that I believe their CEO, Franklin Templeton, has a clear vision for the future. She has previously stated that Bitcoin is merely a diversion. Bitcoin is not the major disruption. XRP, XLM, XDC, and so forth will cause the disruption. However, you would assume that if they were going to form a crypto task force, they would have crypto businesses present. Deep Freeze, designed for issued tokens but not XRP, is now operational on the XRP ledger. It provides crucial control for institutional-grade tokenization, fraud prevention, sanctions enforcement, and regulatory compliance. Additionally, I noticed that some users had already said, here they go, they're going to freeze your XRP. They included this notice as well. It's crucial to remember that XRP is not subject to deep freeze. The native digital asset deep freezes in the XRP ledgers are only intended for issued tokens and have no bearing whatsoever on XRP balances or transactions. Institutions will gain from this. This was made for organizations that don't deal with high-risk compliance situations. For circumstances involving sanctioned entities, fraud mitigation, or regulatory compliance, institutional issuers need a more robust frozen mechanism. Additionally, if tokens are being used for illegal purposes, they will have the authority to freeze them. Additionally, I believe that this had to be implemented before it was formally adopted as well. Since I've already seen folks stating that they want to freeze XRP on the XRP ledger, I just wanted to bring it up. It will not take place. This is from Brad Garlinghouse, who is honored to be working with Teach for America and donors choose on Ripple's first significant philanthropic project, which is supported by RLUSD. For a moment, that word caught me off guard. Classrooms are where American innovation and economic mobility begin. Additionally, this $25 million will help staff, instructors, and students by providing them with the tools they need to create a better future for themselves and their communities. Thus, $25 million is being donated to American classrooms via Ripple. This is because they will be teaching XRP in the classroom. Many immediately said, crypto will undoubtedly be taught in classrooms soon. The new financial system is starting to include cryptocurrency. That would be a reasonable scenario. However, since they don't really discuss XRP here at all, I believe that what Ripple is really doing is advertising education in general, or blockchain even. They essentially tell you that we're helping a worthy cause.